Oh, and that Arsenal goal-scoring record was still up for Ian Wright to grab. 2 changes by Leicester. Steve Claridge and the summer signing from Crewe, Robbie Savage, came in. Arsenal's 1 change was Lee Dixon returning to the defence. Don't miss this one for commentator Tony Gubber.
Ian Wright, bundled down from behind by Elliott, but there's no whistle, and Ian Wright has stayed down. The challenge certainly came in from behind, but there was no whistle from Graham Barber and no free kick. Ian Wright rejoins the action. Here's Bergkamp. Good shot. Oh, Bergkamp! Brilliant touch by the Dutchman. Scored twice against Southampton on Saturday. Overmars, but he had no chance of getting near it. Ian Wright. Well, he's trying to outrun the defender. Oh, that's a poor kick by Keller. Ian Wright into the side netting. It's his first chance of the match on a night when he could equal Cliff Baston's scoring record. It came courtesy of the shot from Overmars after a woeful kick by Casey Keller. He was grateful to see Wright turn it wide. Guppy. Aimed at Heskey. Grimondi covered him. Heskey too strong. But the whistle's gone for a free kick. He's a real barrel-chested player, Emile Heskey, despite still being a teenager. The Arsenal man just trying to let the ball run behind. But he did take a touch on it, Grimondi. And maybe Heskey's a little unfortunate to have been adjudged to have committed a foul. Winterburn. Might get another crack at it. Here's Bergkamp. Oh, what a super shot by Bergkamp. Absolutely sizzled across the face of goal. Here's Izzard. Dispossessed by the ever-resourceful Vieira, who's now broken down the right side. Parler plays it into his path. Splendid Arsenal attack in which Patrick Vieira was so instrumental. Casey Keller's dismay. Vieira having stopped. So Leicester City make a double substitution. It means the arrival of Gary Parker and also a return to English football for Tony Cottee, ex-West Ham and Everton, who's returned to this country from Malaysia and gets his first appearance. Here's Ian Wright. Oh! Well, Dennis Bergkamp might have taken the headlines with his 2 goals, but you take your eyes off Ian Wright at your peril. Well, Ian Wright won't set any goal-scoring records tonight. With 13 minutes left, withdrawn to be replaced by number 9, Anelka. Steve Bold putting it into the crowd. It will be a Leicester throw as we move into the last 7 minutes. Gary Parker aimed at Heskey. Heskey, the ball at his feet. It's the first goal of the season for the 19-year-old. England's schoolboy youth and under-21 international who has trained with the full squad. A glancing header which seemed to hit Lee Dixon and which helped to isolate David Seaman. Well, Hughes keeping the ball alive. Maybe that wasn't the right still a chance. It's a corner off Grimondi. Heskey's body strength, again, crucial. Well, they're on the feet behind that goal. Guppy has come across to take the corner and swing it in left-footed. We're deep in added on time. Headed up by Vieira. Lennon knocks it down, out by Petty. Leicester City will just plant it straight back. It's deflected, it's two! It's Elliott! Matt Elliott! Filbert Street has absolutely erupted. 2 minutes of added on time, and Matt Elliott sent forward to add his presence to the strike force. Made room for the shot, which took a massive deflection. Seaman beaten by a ball that hit one of his defenders. It's 2-2, and Leicester City surely now have kept their unbeaten record alive. Arsenal will be denied the victory that seemed theirs with only 7 minutes left. Well, I wonder if somebody will have words with young Hughes about keeping that ball alive when it could have gone out for a throw. Front. Bergkamp gets a hat-trick that is absolutely brilliant. David Platt, one of the... hit it wide of Casey Keller. And in the Arsenal dugout, they can't believe it. A goal from Leicester to equalise in 92 minutes. Arsenal with surely what's the goal that's the winner in 93. What an end to the game. It's a goal from Bergkamp that's broken Leicester City hearts. Walsh is forward. Maybe it's not all over yet. Knocked up by Petty. But Fenton goes in. Guppy pulls it down. And still there's no sign of the final whistle from Graham Fenton. This will go back to Keller. Graham Barber checks his watch in animated fashion. There's the flick on. That's Grimondi. That'll be a corner. Is there time to take it? There will be time to take it. Gary Parker has placed it. David! Oh, it's 3-3! The captain Walsh. It's a match to drain the emotions. He would hit the back of Arsenal's net. It's a game that they'll talk about at Filbert Street for years to come. And after Chelsea's extraordinary goal scoring at the weekend, after Blackburn's extraordinary goal scoring against Sheffield Wednesday, what a Premiership season this is. 2-0 Arsenal, then 2-2, then 3-2 Arsenal, and now 3-3. And I wonder if the Arsenal players are just querying with Graham Barber quite why he played so much added on time. Surely they can't complain because they profited initially when Bergkamp completed his hat-trick. Well, on our watch, almost 6 minutes of added on time. And some unnecessary confrontations as disappointment has spilled over into anger.
In the end, the two heroes were yourself and Steve Walsh, two defenders going forward to get vital goals.
Yeah, I managed to sneak up there. Actually took a slight deflection, but I certainly still claimed the goal. But mind you, I was nearly the villain because I was at fault really for the third goal. Although it was a great bit of skill from Bergkamp, I feel as though I should have done better really. But Walshy came to my saviour there, and you know, he's come up there and caused a few problems again. Spencer Pride put a great header back across, and Walshy stuck it in, and you know, it's a great finish to the game.
It was fantastic football to watch, but it's absolutely draining for spectators. What's it like for the manager?
Even more draining, I've got to say. Really, really draining. You mentioned the very fact that we've ended up 3 each. It is like we're totally shell-shocked. It is an amazing thing. I think teletext have shown 3 goals scored in 90 minutes, and I'm sure the people looking in and thinking, well, who scored what? When did it happen? But at the end of it all, it was exhilarating. And the fans, I'm sure, have gone home happy, absolutely delighted. I hope that most of them have stayed to the end.
You had the game's outstanding player in Dennis Bergkamp. It was a glorious hat-trick that he scored. As his manager, could you give us an appraisal and appreciation of just how well you think Dennis Bergkamp is playing at the moment?
It's just fantastic, and tonight again, the first goal is world-class again, and every goal he scored today was great, but especially the first and the third is just fantastic.
Now, the Arsenal players protested at the end about the amount of time that the referee had allowed. What are your feelings about that? It was almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, I never felt that it should have taken so long, the injury time. I believe it was maybe 2-3 minutes with Lee Dixon's injury. I know that was the injury. But yeah, 6 minutes was a bit long, I think so. I asked the referee to have a look at his watch, but he wouldn't let me.
He wouldn't let you look at his watch?
No, it was a bit strange, but maybe that says it all.
They're like their referees. Now, we hear that Ian Wright, Patrick Vieira and Leicester's Steve Walsh are all to be reported to the FA as a result of that confrontation that you saw at the end of that match there at Filbert Street. Well, Leicester might have been second on skill, Alan, but they certainly weren't second on spirit. It was a wonderful match to watch.
It was fantastic, and as you say, so much to admire in both teams. And I mean, you could talk about, I know, for you know, the class of Arsenal and the never say die attitude of Leicester that sets them apart, really. And you know, I think the biggest thing to come out of that game is just how much Tony Adams means to Arsenal, because I think if he's playing there, then Arsenal are going to take the 3 points. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, I think, on the programme last year that there was no better equipped player technically in the league than Dennis Bergkamp, and well, that still stands, obviously.
Well, tonight he was out of this world. I mean, the hat-trick was just sensational. The first one, you know, it comes from the corner. Watch the backlift. He's a little bit fortunate. Comes off players in the world can score that type of goal. You know, it's up in the air, over, and then instead of taking his left, he adjusts to his right very, very quickly, and then puts it away so coolly.
Elliott was unhappy, but I think he was well confused with what happened there. But have you seen a better hat-trick than that, do you think?
I haven't seen one. I mean, I don't go as far back as you do, but I mean...
Thanks.
But honestly...
I can't remember.
No, I haven't seen a better hat-trick than that. I honestly haven't. I mean, the first, as the manager said, the first and third goals were sensational. They really were.
It worries me, yes, of course it worries me a lot, because I think he's not treated fairly, and that's just now this whole... It was a very small incident, and this small incident has become now a big story because it has been pumped up artificially. And I think in life you must always give the right importance to the things, and what is happening about this story is huge, and the incident was very, very small. You could maybe have that in many games, and I've seen more in other games, and nobody speaks about it, so I'm quite surprised.
People, though, will point to his past record and say that's why he's been signalled out. I mean, it's not the first instance, is it?
That's a problem always when you use the past of the people to judge what happens today. So it's, I think that's not fair. You have to judge what's going on really on the day of the incident, not more.
There's talk of a 12-match ban. I mean, if that did happen, what a bigger blow would that be?
Let's have confidence in the FA, and I think they have I don't speculate on what some newspapers say. I just want to judge, let the FA judge, and we will accept what they do and fight, of course, for our rights.
Good support for Ian Wright from England coach Glenn Hoddle. Mark, what's your reading of the situation? I can't honestly believe what all the fuss is about, Ray.
Really?
Yeah, you know, the only thing he's done wrong for me is he's come back onto the field of play after he's been, off as a substitute. But it's a mountain out of a molehill. There's a bit of pushing, there's a bit of shoving, there's obviously a few verbals, but apart from that, it's nothing. You know, I think you've got to take it into context of the whole game, exactly what happened. Wright comes back on, and there I think everybody's obviously talking to each other. Steve Walsh is heavily involved. Vieira is supposedly involved. They're all having a bit of a go at each other, but that's all they're doing. There's nothing violent. There's a push. I think there's one push that we've seen, and that's it. Steve Walsh actually starts laughing in a minute. It's nothing to him.
Well, he's trying to wind Wrighty up there, though.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
but doesn't everybody? It's happened for years. Everyone tries to wind people up. When you play against somebody who you know has got a volatile temper, you know that if he plays really well against you, it's very difficult to stop him in football terms. It might be easier to stop him by winding him up. But that's at the end of the game.
Well, there's two schools of thought here, surely. I mean, the referee's report suggests that Ian Wright was pushing, shoving, holding.
Well,
those pictures don't conclude that either way, do they?
Unless the
but they
referees...
don't prove it didn't happen other than that, of course.
That's correct, but unless the referee's seen something that we haven't seen, plus going down the tunnel whether somebody said something to the referee, that's a possibility. But on the evidence of those pictures, it's a nothing.
Do you think Ian Wright is picked on?
No,
given his record?
No, he is volatile. It's part and parcel of his makeup. He's in his mid-30s and, he's talked about he's been for counselling. You're never going to change him. There's no way. I mean, he's touched with genius in a footballing sense, is Ian Wright, but amongst that genius, there's a dark side to him, and that's his temper, that's his volatile temper, and he reacts. And I don't care how many counsellors you go and see, in the heat of the battle in football, in that split second, you show your makeup. You're either laid back or you're volatile. Wright's volatile, but I think he's hard done by on that.
What's your view on the suggestion of a 12-game ban?
Rubbish. I'll be surprised if they get anything. I'm actually surprised that the FA are doing something about it. It really does surprise me, because I just...
So you think there won't be any ban at the end of it?
No, I don't think so. I think you've got to take into context the game, what happened. Arsenal 2-0 up, then back to 2 weeks, then 3-2 up. And then, they think that the referee should have blown his whistle because he played, 5 minutes, I think, extra time or injury time, whichever you want to call it. And I think that was the problem, but nothing else. I'm sure they're all in the bar after the game, the players, had a couple of beers together.
But we would say that, why was Ian Wright on the pitch?
Yeah, that's... I mean, he shouldn't have been, but, he's a cheeky chap.